A very warm good afternoon, good evening to one and all. On behalf of Ayurveda Map, I invite you all for today's Anubhava session. So Anubhava session, we are in according with Dr. P. Ali Kutti's Cortical Ayurveda Pharmacy and Production. So they have been a part of its mother concern, Dr. P. Ali Kutti's Cortical Ayurveda and Modern Hospital since 1965. KAP manufactures around 400 classical products and 40 proprietary medicines in their own GMP and ISO certified production unit. They also develop ancient formulations into proprietary medicines after a series of tests and research studies conducted in their own R&D department. They also produce food and nutraceutical division and dietary and nutrition supplements also. Ayurveda Map was started in the year 2016 and it was inaugurated by the most respected Dr. P.M. Warrier sir in the year 2017. So at first we had in-hand practical session. So these are our in-hand practical sessions. Due to the COVID conditions, we switched on to online sessions. So these are our online sessions. So currently, we are having postgraduate diploma in Ayurveda cosmetology going on, the first batch. Now we are calling for the second batch of postgraduate diploma in Ayurveda cosmetology. And also we have started postgraduate diploma in Ayurveda nutrition also. So our postgraduate diploma classes are done under National Skill Development. The highlights of our postgraduate diploma courses in cosmetology, we highlight about the product making and skill development. And we also provide practical classes batch-wise as offline classes. And we also just finished ABHA. It was an online, advanced online session on Ayurveda product making and its clinical applications. We also have a new venture, that is Swadhyaya, to support the students academically during the pandemic time. So this is still in process. So now I invite you all for today's Anubhava free webinar series. So today the topic will be clinical experiences based on theoretical approaches, and our presenter is Dr. Kirathamoorthy PP, DMS MD. He is a professor and HOD, Department of Panchakarma, Vishnu Ayurveda College, Palakkad. He is retired in May 2021 from Cortical Ayurveda College as professor and HOD, Department of Samhita and Siddhanta. He is the author of postgraduate textbook of Samhita and Siddhanta, chief editor of Bishak News and Satayanam, publication of Cortical Ayurveda College. He is the chairman, CCIM Syllabus Reform Committee of Padartha Vijnanam, and he has received n number of achievements in his life. One of them, a few are Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Lifetime Achievement, National Award by International Institute for Social and Economic Reforms, Bangalore. And he has guided almost several PG thesis works and published, and has been the resource person in a number of national and international platforms. So without much ado, I invite you, sir, for today's session. Namaste, sir.
Shall I share this screen?
Yes, sir. Sure.
Is the...
Yes, it is visible, sir.
It is visible. Okay.
Over to you, sir.
Good evening to all. It's really a happy occasion to be with you to discuss the clinical experience based on theoretical approach. I thank Dr. Jasur and Dr. Ratika Sadishan and Dr. Ali Kutti's nursing home and Rahmatullah. Dr. Rahmatullah is very good friend of me, and I'm very happy to associate with such a good institution and discuss the clinical experience which I have and also I have come across. So I'm working. I should first thank Padma Shri Dr. P.R. Krishnakumar, who initiated me to Ayurveda. He took me from my home and he gave the admission in Coimbatore Ayurveda College, by which I'm able to speak here and did my post-graduation from Mysore. And also, I'm very thankful to the Ayurveda former managing trustee, Padma Bhushan, Dr. P.K. Warrior. He was very close to me, and with the thanking all of you to hear this for him, those who have come here to hear my clinical experience. Thank you for all. I shall start my session without any introduction. I am going into the session. Thank you very much.
Sir, can you make the slide? And
Okay. Is it visible?
yes, sir. Perfect.
Okay. So, first we have to see, any Ayurvedic doctor should know what is Anukrosha. Because Charaka Acharya tells why Ayurveda was developed. He says, Anukrosha, due to Anukrosha. Anukrosha is compassion. Compassion towards the patients is the first thing we should have in a clinical approach. Not for money, not for attaining wealth. The Ayurveda was developed for compassion towards the patients who are suffering. So helping hand to the suffering humanity is the hour of our need. And it started with compassion towards the patients. So, that is told in the 2000 years or before, and now also you can see. I shall start from a story. Years ago, anthropologist Margaret Mead was asked by a student what she considered to be the first sign of civilization in a culture. The student expected Mead to talk about fish books or clay pots or grinding stones, but no. Mead said that the first sign of civilization is an ancient culture, was a femur that had been broken and then healed. Mead explained that in the animal kingdom, if you break your leg, you die. You cannot run from danger, get to the river for drink, or hunt for food. You are meat for crawling beasts. No animal survives a broken leg long enough for the bone to heal. A broken femur that has healed is the evidence that someone has taken time to stay with the one who fell, has bound up the wound, has carried the person to safety, and has tended the person through recovery. Helping someone else through difficulty is where civilization starts. Mead said, we are at our best when we serve others. Be civilized. So we should be civilized for clinical approach. Okay. So this is one of the experience we had. These students are from, I was the coordinator of the foreign studies of Duisburg University in Germany, that is near Essen. These students, foreign students, those who are MD, MS, etc., they, after their allopathic study, they entered into the Ayurvedic study, and they had come to Ayurveda College, Kottakkal, and we had trained them. And this is the photo where we took the photo in front of that Dr. Vaidyaratnam P.S. Warrior. And wonderfully, though one of the student was PG and also postdoc in diabetology, and she has a dog which by sniffing it can identify the levels of sugar in the human being. So such expertise, they were coming for Ayurveda. And why they come? It's a wonderful theoretical and practical backing of Ayurveda. So we should be proud of our Indian system of medicines, which has very good effective remedy for almost all the diseases occurring for the human being. So they had referred that diabetes patients to us, and we were treating by our own methodology, by our own medicines, and they were very much satisfied. And we used to go there in the Duisburg University and take class for them and train them. So we have a very good chance in the Western world also for Ayurveda to develop. So what is medicine? In clinical episode, we should know what is medicine. And Charaka tells about it. Tadeva yuktam bhaishadyam yad arogyaya katpade sachaiva bhishajam seshto rogyebhyo ya pramochayet. Bhaishajya or medicine is that which gives health for the suffering humanity. And the physician is one who conducts this treatment and cures the patient. Then only he can be called as physician. So this is one of the experiences I had in Ayurveda College, Kottakkal. The person standing in the center is Dr. C.R. Agnivesh, our HOD. And I had a clinical experience with him. He was not known for much for the treatment capability. And I had a case of, I had one patient who had male infertility. So after 8 years of treatment, he was not getting effect. So what we did was, and I discussed with Agnivesh sir, and he told, we shall search in the Charaka Samhita. So in Charaka Samhita, there is 50 kashayas told. One of them is Samjnasthapana Gana, and next Charaka describes about Prajasthapana Gana. So Dr. Agnivesh sir was telling that Samjnasthapana means stimulating, not making the unconscious man to consciousness. Samjna there means it is stimulation. So we shall prepare a kashaya with the Samjnasthapana Gana and Prajasthapana Gana and prepare a grida that is told in Sukra Shodhana in Sushru Samhita, Thadagi Pushpaghadida Dadi Marjuna Sadidam, and we were giving this medicine for 3 months, up to 6 months we gave it, and his sperm count was increased, motility was increased, and wife became pregnant also, and it was a successful treatment based on the theory. So we should know correct meaning of the word. Here the samjna means it is stimulation, and one term gets different meanings according to the context. That's what we have to know. Then we can successfully treat the patient. So Samjnasthapanam, these are the drugs we used. Hingu Kaidarya, Ajimeda, Vacha, Choraga, Vayastha, Golomi, Jadila, Palankasha. These are the things it is available in the shops, and Prajasthapanam, it is explained, you can go through it. So this is one of the clinical experience I had. Then we, not only the theoretical background, we should have the knowledge of drugs also. What are the drugs which have got, other than the textual descriptions? Some of the drugs in the Vaidyas who practice, they have found out some of the effectiveness of the drugs which we are not knowing. So that should also be got from a great person in Ayurveda, and such experiences I shall tell it now itself. So Padma Bhushan Vaidyaratnam Padma Bhushan P.K. Warrior sir used to talk many of his experiences. Some of them I shall tell as an introduction. See, Anaushan, there is a story story told that Acharya Jivaka, after studies, his guru called house surgeons and asked, you take some of the anaushadha dravyas, which are not at all used in the medicinal preparations. So all went and nobody could, almost all the persons came with many of the things which are surrounding which are not identified, which have no effect in the treatment. They brought it. Jivaka came barehanded. So Guru asked, why you don't have any plants which are not at all medicine? Then Jivaka told Guru, I see all the plants and their utilities, and I could not find that anaushadham, which is not at all a medicine. I could not find in the world itself. So Guru told, you are the real physician. When we know the characters and guna karmas of the medicines, almost all the things, then you become a very good physician. So these are some of the experts we are telling. Holistic approach we should have. So B.K. Warrior sir was telling, he had a case of osteosarcoma, and it was treated in the allopathic system, modern medicine, and they told it was not giving any result at all, and they have nothing to do in such conditions. So the patient was from Hyderabad, and B.K. Warrior sir did a fruit juice treatment. Almost the fruits were taken and juice made. Only fruit juice she was taking. And why this was given, he was explaining it that from the food only body develops. So when you purify, you give pure food, pure juice, etc. From that, the medicinal effect will be coming into the body. The toxicity will be relieved from the body. So this is an experience, and we have seen that after 2 years of treatment, she was getting relief in this, and the osteosarcoma was relieved, and she is still living. So that is a clinical experience. We have to study that. When you treat the amashaya, amasthana, when you purify the intestine or the agni, every diseases have hope of getting relief. I don't say every disease can be cured, but we shall try this way of holistic approach. That is, food be Thai medicine. Food is very much important in medicinal applications. So whenever you change the habit of taking poisonous food, when you stop it and purify the body with vegetable juice, etc., it gives result. That is what we have seen. So there is one more experience we had, adenocarcinoma in head of the pancreas. That was from the patient was from Madras, Chennai, and she was treated for head of the pancreas, adenocarcinoma in head of the pancreas with Nimbamridadi and Panchadiktan Kashayam with Arushkaram extract. So while she was treated for 2 years. 2 years she was under the treatment, and the 3/4 of the size of the adenocarcinoma was decreased. And what happened, after that, she got pregnant. So the patient could not continue these medicines, and B.K. Warriors are told you need not you need not take these medicines. After delivery, you can have it. So what he told is, we have, and the modern medicine people were telling that she should be aborted. And she was not ready for abortion. So PK Warrior said, you have no right to kill a life. God has given the life, you need not kill it. So he told abortion is not at all needed, and she is not having opinion of that also. So it was continued, and what happened? She delivered the baby, and after that, when we checked, the adenocarcinoma was increased. It was in the same size it had come. And after, for 6 months, the feeding was done. And after that, these medicines were started, and she is still living with her baby. So such a wonderful experience we had with our medicines. And in the stroke cases, I don't explain too much, Stanyavasharasam he used to give. Why? Because with the castor oil, this is the medicinal effect of the some of the medicines and combinations. Stanyavasharasa, Stanya means milk, and Vasharasa, Adatoda classica, and castor oil. These were mixed and made in oil, and with the poultice of Vacha, Kushta, and Mrigashanga powder. In stroke cases, he was working in Ayurveda Shala. He was one of the officers in Ayurveda Shala, and after retirement, he got a stroke. And he was admitted in the hospital, and we could not do any treatment there. And they told, we have, modern doctors told, we have nothing to do in this patient, so you can try Ayurvedic medicines. So PK Warrior sir took these medicines, and in the head, he was doing this poultice with the Vacha, in the Stanyavasharasa, castor oil, and put in the head, and Kushta Mrigashanga powder was doing poultice and keeping it in the head. And wonderfully, we cannot explain it. We say some of the, in the Visha, etc., some of the Kagabada, some type of treatment in the head gives relief for Visha. So this is unexplainable. The patient got very much, he was unconscious, and after this, he became conscious, and he was treated with Ayurvedic medicines, and he was healthy after that. So this you can utilize in many of the conditions where stroke cases occur. So the next one is what he told. Yukri is needed for all these things. You cannot do one treatment in all the cases. So in Dadimadigrada, in its utility, its indication, Dadimadigrada is Dukha Prasavanina. In infertility cases, Dadimadigrada gives very good result because it clears the Apana Vaigunya. Amana Anulomana is done by Dadimadigrada. Especially the Shamula Haridagi Dadimadigrada clears the Vimutha Apana Vayu. So the Dadimadigrada can be given in the cases of infertility. Not only that, even any Apana Vaigunya, Dadimadigrada, when you are using in the Rutshada condition, Vata Vaigunya, you can use. So stroke and asthma cases, some of the cases, he was telling the experience of Lucas aspera leaves and flower, Kashayam, with Suvarna Muktadi Gudiga. In the acute cases of that, you can give it in, you can intake, you can use this Kashaya with Suvarna Muktadi Gudiga, you can experience it, it gives very good relief. Why? Because it gives the Srota Shuddhi. Lucasaspira Kashaya Sota Shodhana. So when an obstruction occurs with Suvarna Muktadi, it clears the srotases. So Vayu is aggravated by two things, one by block and one by Varthana or increase. So whenever there is a block, in such conditions like Pakshaghata, this gives very good relief. And we have to know the word meaning of the theory. Say, PK Warrior sir, he used to tell, Shakuna Ashanata, Sapada Puja. In Netra Yoga, he says Shakuna Ashanata. Shakuna Ashanata, what we say is you can eat the bird's meat. But that is not the meaning of that he was telling. He was telling, it means Shaguna Ashanada means birds eat only the daytime. So we should not eat food after sunset. So that is Shaguna Ashanada. And I know one of the doctors I referred to, PK Warrior sir, and he did not advise any medicines. He asked him to, you control your food habit, you eat only in the daytime. From sunset, you should not eat anything. Before that, you have to take. And morning, you can, after sunrise only, you should eat. Then what happened? He had increased cholesterol, triglycerides, everything. And after 1 month, when it was checked, it was normal. Why? Because there is a time gap for digesting the armor. 12 hours when it is there, 6 to 6, the body is getting purified by the Agni. So Ama will not be there, Kapha will be decreased. So such treatment principles you have to advocate in the treatment methodology. Then only it will be perfect. So Purusham Vichya, we have to see each person and consider, and accordingly you have to treat the cases. This is one of the, you may be knowing Dr. C.P. Matthew. He was an oncologist professor in Kottayam Medical College. And you can see what he was working in the oncology department. He had a patient, I shall tell you. The turning point in his life came in 1983 when he learned that a terminally ill cancer patient who had been sent home to die not only survived but thrived with a Siddha medicine given by a Lada Vaidya, a wandering quack to modern eyes. The oncologist immediately went all the way to patient's home, and when he found the man was hale and hearty, Matthew sir was determined to meet the wandering Vaidyan who had cured him. A month or so later, a phone call around midnight informed him that Vaidyan had been located. Matthew sir drove at 2 a.m., however, tight-lipped. He would only say that he dispensed a Siddha medicine. And what happened? The Siddha medicine he was giving was Navapashana. He had not knowledge of theory. He had got this medicine from a sannyasin and he was advocating it. And wonderfully, that patient who was sent home to die, he has become healthy. He has cured the disease. So the modern oncologist professor, he studied the Ayurveda Siddha medicine and he was treating up to 90 years. 35 years he was taking Ayurveda medicine and Siddha medicine only. So such wonderful drugs are there in our medicine. We have to find it out. That is why Ayurvedic, in Ayurveda Charaka says, you have to go through the Vanavasi or tribal people and find out the medicines. And from their experience also, you have to assimilate into the Ayurveda so that Ayurveda will develop and we shall get many medicines. And I shall show you one of the, there is one book called Ayurvedic Legacy of Charavati, Ayurvedic Legacy of Kerala. that is published by Department of Ayush, Government of India, Directorate of Ayurveda Medical Education in Government of Kerala. That covers many of that from the manuscript, we get a abundant medicines that is very much effective in several disorders. I have come across many medicines. We don't know their effectiveness. When a Vaidya knows the theory and such medicine, wonderful drugs also, he will become the great physician, Apurva Vaidya. That's what our aim to do. So Charaka Samhita says diagnosis, the text is Madhava Nidana, and principles of medicine is from Bhakpada, and anatomy, physiology, surgery, etc. from Sushruta. So by the case of Nidane, Madhava Shrestha. And therapeutics, you have to go through Charaka. So Charaka, he says, when you study the Charaka Samhita, everything etihasti tadanyatra, everything in the world, everything, the knowledge of Ayurveda is in Charaka Samhita. And Swastha Adura, every chikitsa is from Charaka Samhita. Charakastu chikitside. So though he tells like that, he tells surgery, tatra dhannandariyanam adhikara kriyavitho. But when a surgery comes, you have to refer into the surgeons. So that we should know. Though we know the medicines in Ayurveda, we should know where we cannot treat and a surgeon should treat, and accordingly you have to decide and send or refer the patient to a surgeon. So I had a case from my experience. He was having glioma in the brain, cerebrum. So he was given, formerly he was treating in modern medicine and Ayurveda, and no relief, and he was getting aggravated symptoms. So I sent him for a CT scan. What has happened, we should find out. So then it was seen that he had glioma in this. So he was not having much money. I referred him to Coimbatore, expert surgeon, and surgery was done, and he was okay by the surgery, and medicines were continued also. So this is the patient. He had relieved from the, he was having the hemiplegia conditions, numbness all over the body. Everything was relieved by the surgery, and Ayurvedic medicines was given after that. So we should know when to refer, when to take the case, everything. So our objective is when we should Yasya Dwadasha Sahasri Hriti Tishtadi Samhita. So Arthatnyasa Virajaratnya Chikitsa Kushalascha. When you know almost all the verses of Charaka Samhita and its meaning, Dwadasha Sahasri. There are 12,000 slokas, it says, but it doesn't come 12,000. But when you know all these things, you will be the best physician in the world. Chigilsa Kudukascha, Kushalascha, she will be an expert. So we should know the meaning of text and the application of the text. That is very important. So we should know what are the germs of clinic. With the knowledge of light, or light as a knowledge, Vaidya should enter into the heart of the Jnana Buddhi Pradipena Yona Vishadi Tattuvit Adurasya Andaratmanam Nasarogam Chikitsa. We should know what is the causative factor in a special case. That is very important. So I had a case, a lady, 45 years, she came with the insomnia. She was not telling what is the problem, even though we asked. So we had talked for some time and pacified her. And after that, I asked her, like Jnana Buddhi Pradeepa, we were close to the patient, and asked her what has happened. So she told, my son, only son, he is studying in Tamil Nadu. I cannot see him at all. And that is why I am very much disturbed. I don't get sleep. She was studying for Ayurvedic science only. So what happened? I asked him, you should come every week to Saturday, you should come and spend the whole day, Sunday with your mother. And every week he was coming. And I did not give any medicines for sleep. She was getting very good sleep. So we have to, such things we have to find out what are the minute matters which are lying in the mind of the patient, which causes disease, that should be relieved, not a medicine. So when there is a pain, you have to know why this pain occurs. When a sleeplessness, what causes the sleeplessness? So that is very important. The cause is nidana viparidameva chikitsa. We have to find out the cause. So one who cures the disease is the best physician. One thing which cures is the medicine. One should hold himself for happiness and miseries. We should know that we are the causative factor for our happiness and miseries. So you should go through the loga or the universe, the world itself, the people in world, study them. Krishno hi logo buddhimata macharyo shatruscha. This universe itself is a teacher for us. And shatruscha buddhimata. When you don't have wisdom, it is all foe or shatru. So we have to study the universe. What are the things happening in the universe? What are happening in the patient? And find out the causative factor and treat the disorder. So clinical aspect can be divided into swasthasya swasthya rakshanam, adurasya vigara prashamanam, and also preventive and curative medicines are very much important in clinical aspect. And finally, that is etiology, diagnosis, and treatment. These are the three sutras of Ayurveda. Causative factor, diagnosis of the disease, and treatment. So these things you may be knowing. Lifestyle is very much stressed in Ayurveda. So now also, lifestyle disorders are increasing. Formerly, the modern medicine people, they were not so much stressing about lifestyle. When penicillin was invented, they were telling that all diseases can be managed by penicillin. And we found out that it is not at all utilized now. So the cause lies in the lifestyle. Maybe spiritual, psychological, sensory, or physical. Nityam hidahara vihara sevi samichyagadi vishayeshu sakta data samas satyaparaksamavan aptobasevi cha bhavatya roga. So these areas, spiritual, psychological, sensory, physical areas should be cleared. That should be used as preserving the health, not causing the disease. So we have to change the lifestyle. If a person with a computer expert, he is whole time night, he is not at all sleeping, and daytime they are sleeping, certainly he has to get the disease. When lifestyle changes, it increases the doshas, three doshas. So that will have effect in the body. So we have to change the lifestyle or adjust the lifestyle according to the healthy conditions. So clinical aspects of curative medicine depends upon principles, etiology, diagnosis, disease course, prognosis, and treatment. So simply when we tell The treatment modality of Ayurveda depends on Samanya Vishesha Siddhanta. When we concisely about Ayurveda, introduction, Charaka tells that Indra taught Ayurveda. What is it? Samanyanja Visheshanja Gunan Dravyani Karmaja Samavayanja Tajñatva Tantroktam Vidhimasthita. This is what similarity and dissimilarity increase and decrease in the body. Any increase leads to disease, any decrease also. So Samatva is Arogya or health. So this is what attained by Dravya, Guna and Karma. That's what the principle simply we can tell. So these are things I don't go through: property, action, similarity, dissimilarity, and coherence. So these principles should be applied in our treatment. And Ayurveda is a Prayogika Shastra. Prayoga Shamayedyat. It should be utilized for relieving the disease. So we should be theoretician plus practitioner. For a successful Vaidyan, we should have theoretical background and practical application also. So clinical aspects of medicines, mainly knowledge of patient and knowledge of Dravya. Knowledge of patient by the theoretical application, and knowledge of Dravya should be there so that it can be applied in the body. And we are not a human being, is not a physical matter. It has physical, one part is physical matter. Other things, Atma, Sharirendriya, Sattva, Atma Samyogo Dhari Jivitam. Sharira is there, Indriya is there, Manas is there, Atma also is there. So disease can originate in Sharira level, disease can originate in the Indriya level, disease can originate in the Manasika level, and it can originate in the soul or Atma level. So we have to identify the causative factor where it has occurred and relieve the causative factor. Then he will be relieved from the disease fully. Otherwise, it is only a temporary cure. If you want to cure permanently, we have to find out the cause, whether which area the causative factor lies. So that is why we have to see whether it is in psychological level, whether it can be in the Sharirika level or Indriya level or Atma level. We have to find out. That's what the physician should do. So the principles applied in Ayurveda can be divided into these, according to these levels. Purusha Siddhanta, that is Purusha soul or life itself, and Manas Sharira Siddhanta, psychosomatic disorder, Samanya Vishesha, which is applied in the body, and Dravya Guna Karma Siddhanta, that is applied in the body, and Panchabhuta Siddhanta, that is applied in the body, and Tridosha Siddhanta, that's also applied in the body, and Ama Siddhanta, that's also identified in the body, and Karya Karana Siddhanta, and Chigilsa Siddhanta, and Rasayana Siddhanta. These are the Siddhantas we are utilizing in the clinical methodology, clinical therapeutics. So we have to find out, I will be explaining these things according to that. Sannikrishta Nidanam also is there, and Viprakrishtam. Tridosha is the Sannikrishta Nidanam, and Indriyartha is the Viprakrishta Nidanam according the distant cause and immediate cause. Immediate cause is the dosha vitiation, and distant cause is the lifestyle. So we have to correct lifestyle, and so that the doshas are balanced and healthy condition is preserved. So yoga pariksha we have to do nidana, purva rupa, rupa, upashaya, samprapti, and yogi. And this is explained. I don't go into detail of it. Just I am telling that these we have to take into consideration. So medicine and dosha dushti, we have to know how far the how, according to the causative factor, the vitiation in the body will be different. For example, in a tumor, kapha vitiation is different. In a prameha also is a kapha vitiation, but it is different. So in prameha, he said the bahudrava shleshma atra dosha vishesha. The dravatva in the kapha is increased in prameha. While in granthi or tumor, it is not bahudrava, it is sandrata is increased. So what happens? The medicine also is different for prameha and granthi. While in drava should be drava, things should be avoided. In prameha, we have to decrease the dravatva of the kapha, while in granthi or tumor, we have to decrease that quality, which does sandrata of the kapha. So medicine is different in different types of vitiation of the doshas. So these things we have to take into account when we are treating a disease. Spread of kapha, dushtamesa was, when we go through the kapha disease course, we will be wondering how the Acharya has found out so much pathogenesis of a prameha. He tells spread of kapha and dushta medas, bahudrava shleshma, bhukvabatham medo mamsam, sharira jakleda. This abadha medas, that is free fatty acid, that circulates all over the body. Dravatva of kapha is increased, and fat, this fat or kapha is in abadha or free fatty acid generates, and it blocks all the body organs. Marmas, vasti, renopathy occurs, netraroga, retinopathy occurs, and hridroga, you get Vaishamya in the hridaya, heart disorders, cardiac disorders you are getting. So everything this due to the kapha bhukvabattha. So how we can relieve that? We have to decrease the dravatva of the kapha and purify the kapha which has formed in the drav. That is why we are giving kataka khadira, kashaya, etc. and from mehari churna, etc. These things are decreasing the dravatva of the kapha and keeps it in the balanced state. So our disease, Kathagadidadikashaya and Shilajadu, it's a Rukshana, the dravatva is decreased, and Nirujyadiguliga, all you take it, everything is Dravahara, dravatva will be decreased. So these things we have to take into account when you treat a disease. So Jara-chikitsa, the main Chikitsa Prakarana is Jara-chikitsa, where all these things come into play. These principles are utilized and line of treatment and Kriyakrama is described. Principles and practice of medicine very much deprived in Jara-chikitsa. So when a Atma level, we have to see in Ayurveda, it says that we can take it as congenital or unknown etiology. So, and Ayurveda tells about Purakarmas, etc. Maybe it is a genetic factor playing in it. And such conditions are there. See, there is a modern test called parapsychology in the Many Lives, Many Masters. It deals about the Purajanmas, etc. And there is a study going on in US about parapsychology. Even in Bangalore, there is a parapsychology study center. We don't know much about it, but it is under study. So Atma also may be causing through the genetic trait. There are some disorders which are difficult to be treated. So we have to find out whether it is a genetic factor involved in the disease. So accordingly, we can know Satya Satyata of the disease. So accordingly, you have to treat the disease, or Pratyakhyana Chikitsa can be applied in. So tripod concept, psychosomatic relation of disease, psychoneuroendocrine relation, psychoimmunological relation. Ragadi Yoga Siddhanta, that is what Ayurveda tells in the Ashtanga Hridaya itself. Ragadi Yoga, it starts from the mental level. The disease, when it comes from the mental level, you have to treat in the mind itself. So I had an experience of that. One lady came to me telling that she has increased BP, diabetes she was having, it was increased, and all her mind was disturbed. And I asked her what has happened. She was not telling at all, and I gave her some consolation, etc. I talked with her and made sure that the disease can be subsided if you are telling the truth, what is the problem in you. And she told me that there is my son was not studying well, and her husband, that is son's father, told that when you guest first in the class, I will give you a bike. That is, then he studied well, and what happened? He was first in the class test, or he got first in the class. So he was telling that after 1 week, I will be coming to friends. He told I will be coming in the bike. So when he came here, somebody told to the father that he was ready to give the bike. Somebody told that when your son take the bike and goes to somewhere, one accident may occur. You should not give bikes to the youngsters like that. So he told, I will not give bike, I shall give some other things. And this son was always disturbing mother that he will be absconding from here. I will not come here. I cannot go to the college without bike. So she and father also was scolding the here also. The husband was scolding the wife also. So what happened? She had this disturbance of mind from both sides, from the husband and also son. So she was not getting sleep. Her diabetes increased, BP increased, everything. She was a patient at that time. Then I called all three people and had a counseling and asked him to give the bike to the son, and everything was done. And when after the treatment, these things, counseling also, the BP, sugar level, everything came down. So the disease starts from the mind of the patient. So Ragadi Roga and Satatanu Shakta, Ragadi Roga, it has effect in the psychosomatic relation, psychoneuroendocrine relation, psychoimmunological relation mind has got. So we have to correct the mind, then only it will be corrected. Okay. So disease is a river originating from the mountain of mind and spreading to the land of body. So belief and treatment has got a very good relation. This is one of the book, The Biology of Belief. When you have a belief, when you counsel a patient, this is a congenital wart case he is explaining, the Bruce Lipton. After psychological approach or counseling, the wart decreases. It was the wart cannot be done surgery because it will another time also it will develop. So there was no treatment for congenital wart, and from the counseling it decreased. This is a book fully describes about the counseling and also giving mind suggestions what is the relief of the wart. This is a you should read this book. You can find out how much effect mind has got in the body. Even in the cellular level, in the gene level, it has got action. So Manasharira relation, Dehendriya Manastavi in Jara, he says, Gaurmanasyam Avrishyanam. Gaurmanasyam Avrishyanam Vishado Rogavarthanam. There's an infertility case which came to me. That is female infertility case. What happened was she was staying with her husband in a big family. So there was always quarrel. And once she got pregnant and she was having abortion. So due to the mental stress in the quarrels of the family, she was getting these problems. So I asked her to, her husband also, to take a rented house and stay there and use, for 1 year you stay there and find out whether the problem is solved. So when she changed into the rented house, she was very happy. My husband also was very happy. And without any medicines, after 6 months, she got pregnant and she has 2 children now. So there is no need of medicines at all. Sometimes just the changing the lifestyle will give a result to the patient. That is very much important. So Yukti and Sattva Daiva Chikilsa. Prashamatya Aushadai Purvo Daiva Yukti Vyavasai. Manaso Jnana Vijnana Dhairya Smriti Samadhi. So this is what we have explained already. Indriya level also, even a music can generate happiness in the body, happiness in the mind, and it has got effect in the body. Dinacharya Adhyaya, Acharya tells about you have to hear good music, etc. in the morning so that your mind will be peaceful and the day full will be happy and you will get health by that. So not only if a bad word is told to a person, he can get disease because it will generate increased BP, increased tensions, etc. Adrenaline will be increased and he will get Vada Vaigunya and get disease. So when you get a good word, Tathastu, Shanti, Shanti, like and good music of Yeshudas, etc. Certainly the peacefulness of mind comes and disease can be relieved by any India, Sparsha, and good scenes also, good cinemas also. So we have to treat Panchabhutas like this. Akasha, Shabda, Vachanam, Radi, Mantra, Japa, Asha, Shastram, Vijitram, and Vayu, Sparsha, Mani, Aushadha, Ratna, etc. Dresses, etc. Agni can be treated by Manojya Darshana, Jala by Rasa, Ruchigara Rasa, and Prithvi, Gantha. Gantha also can be, that is aromatherapy is there. Different types of perfumes can be used. And color therapy is that is due to Panchabhuta treatment, Agni. And Jala also, Ruchikara food will certainly generate health and relieve the disease. So we have a holistic approach of the body, of the universe, of the senses, everything we have. So this is Jaragala Smritimchasya Hari Bhir Vishaye Hare. Karunardram Manashuddham Sarvajara Vinas. When your mind is pure, Karunardram, compassionate mind, and Sarvajara, every disease will be vanished if you keep your mind in peaceful condition. So this is very much needed for Ayurvedic treatment. And Sharira level, Yukti Vyapashraya Chikitsa, tripods, Ahara, Vyayama. The doshas are balanced by Ahara, Vyayama, and sleep. So Arogya, how an Arogya or a healthy man comes. Koruk, that is a story in Alatur Nambis and Aitehamala, he says, 2 cuckoos were asking Alatur Nambi, a famous Vaidya, Koruk, that Kaha Aruk. who will be. So he says these are the three things by which health can be preserved. So it says it was Ashwini Devas in disguise came as cuckoos and asked this, and he told Nityam Hidamida Bhoji Kritachangramana Kramena Vamashaya Avitatam Utraburisho Strishu Yadatma Soaru. So these are the reports about life that when it is kept nicely, health is attained. Is the main principle, the dosha concept. It depends upon Yuktibhyabhasya, Sarvada, Sarvabhavanam, that everything you know. So this is one of the case report which I came across. This he was having purpuric spots all over the body and subcutaneous ulcerating nodules in thigh and ankle. Duration 2 years. See, purpuric spots all over the body through which blood was oozing. So I found out that we resemble the signs and symptoms to a disease. In which disease such conditions are seen. So we have to see. Directly we cannot sometimes find the disease as such in the text. And you cannot ask the patient to come accordingly, the symptoms of the text, you should come, then only I will treat. That we cannot tell. There may be different types of clinical conditions will be coming. So you have to. So this was like a Sannibhava Jvara and Pitta Kapha predominance, Kledasrava, Ushna Drava treatment, Ushna Drava, etc. increased. So what we did was Shita Ruksha Dravya Chikitsa should be done. And these are Sannibhava Jvara, Kothanam, Shavaraktanam, Mandalanam, Chadarsanam. So the Vishama Jvara, there is Ashtanga Hridaya, there is one Kashaya Yoga, that is Kiratha Kashayam, Charga 343. Kirata Diktakam Titta, Musta, Parpada Gomurga, Handi Pita Nija Abhyasa, Punaravartaka Jvara. He was referred, this patient was referred by a modern physician, and he told that even he was given steroids, he was not getting any relief. So we have to treat by Ayurvedic medicines. So this was given for 1 year. He was having this for 2 years, still no relief with modern medicine. And after giving this Kashaya, he was fully relieved and he is still working in US. So such Kirata Diktadi Kashayam, very good effective medicine. Even in the conditions of COVID conditions, this was given. It has got a very good effect in the Jvara and also such conditions of Shwasakritsata, etc. So Chikitsa Krama we have to follow in any disorder. Lankhana, Deepanabhajana, Snehasveda, Shodhana, and after purification, Shamana should be given. Then for getting strength, Grita Prayoga should be given. And finally, Rasayana Prayoga to prevent the diseases. So these are the Samanya Vishesha Siddhanta. There are different types of medicines in one disease itself. Drakshadi and Dashamulagadutreya are different. One is Ushna, one is Shita. So we have to, it is so told in the same disease. So we have to find out accordingly Pitta or Kapha, which has been increased. Accordingly, you have to decide the medicine that Drakshadi can be given in the cases of Paitiga and Dashamulagadutreya can be given in Kaphaja conditions. So that depends upon, though the disease may be same, different conditions we have to find out. So Dravya Guna Karma Siddhanta we have to follow. Mamsa can be given, or in Mamsa Chaya, that is the principle we are using. And Guna, Kshira, having the Mamsa Guna can be given in for Brahmana as Brahmana therapy. Abhyayama as Brahmana can be done. So these are Dravya Guna Karma. We have already explained this. And Panchakarmas, Panchabhuta Chikitsa, Vamana, Jala purification, Virechana, Agni purification, Anuvasana Vayu purification, and Asthavana Akasha Bhuta purification, and Nasya Prithvi Tattva purification. So Ama Siddhanta, Ama should be taken into account in any of the disorders, and we say in Jara Ushna Jala, Shadanga Kashaya, Krishna Galpalpa Mushnambu. This is in COVID conditions, just taking the hot water, warm, it gives relief. That is why Acharya tells in Jara chapter, Krishnaga Alpalpa Mushnambu, Vibed Bhataka Bhajari, when Bhataka Bhajari. Tat kapham vilayam nitva trishnamashu nivartayet udirya chagnim. Agni can be ignited. Sodamshi mridugritya vishodhayet, which purifies the body. So even Ushna Jala is a medicine when you use it with the clinical wisdom. So many of the medicines, these can be utilized, and Tije Dabal Laba Sabyaya Amasnana Maituna. The Guru Asatya Vidahyanam Echanya Jwara Karanam. So in Jwara, these should be avoided. Chikitsa Siddhanta Vyatyavastha Vibhagatnya Pasyanarthan Pradikshanam. Upavasa, Deepanapatana, Shadangapana, all these can be advocated in as Chikitsa. So this is one of the cases of Aruchi. In COVID conditions, we had given he was giving Aruchi. He doesn't taste anything. No taste is a taste sensation was there. In such conditions, he was treated by modern medicine, and according to that Ayurvedic treatment, we found that Aruchi comes from Karpaka Kapha and also Sathaka Pitta and Pranavayu. So these things are situated in the Shiras, and for clarifying, clearing that or purifying that, Vajya Narayana Taila Nasya was given, and Gorojanadi Gudiga with Induganta Kashayam was given. After 15 days of treatment, he was tasting very nicely, and he was telling, I have relieved from the disorder. Thank you, doctor. So this is the we can do, even Rasayana can do. So keep in mind the Chikitsa Krama already we have told, and Pratyakhyana Chikitsa can be done in some of the cases where we cannot surely tell that the result can be found out. That is why in Asadhya Roga, the treatment procedure is Pratyakhyana Chikitsa. But even in such conditions, we can get relief, that we shall see many of the. This is one of the case, Amrita. She was, at that time, she came with 5 years, she came in 3 months, and she was presenting complaints of respiratory distress, cough, not 5 years. She came in 3 months. She was discharged from a famous hospital in Cochin, and told that 3 months he or she was having congenital heart disease, common AV canal defect, pulmonary arterial hypertension, and Down syndrome. And they told that she will be living only for 6 months. There is no hope for that. Her congenital heart disease cannot be done surgery for that, because she is 3 months and body weight was very less. And this father and mother, they were trying and came for Ayurvedic treatment. And I gave her Indugantam Kashayam and Gorojanadi Gudiga, and she was treated, and she was continuing the treatment up to 5 years. And now she is studying in a school. And after that, we sent her to Bangalore Heart Hospital. And they told, you by the Ayurvedic medicines, you have got very good relief, so you need not go for surgery. And now you continue the Ayurvedic medicine. Still, she is taking Dhanvantaram Gudiga and Dhanvantaram Kashayam, and she is going for school also. So So this was given in Dugantam Kashayam and Gauravjanadi Gudika. This is one of the cases, anterior spinal artery stenosis. She was 18 years, she fell in the bathroom and she had paraplegia. She could not even move the fingers. She was bedridden and she was taken into Ernakulam, a famous hospital. And after 3 months treatment, they told it is very difficult to cure this case. You try some other treatment modality. Then she came, she was having incontinence of urine and also incontinence of feces. So she was admitted in a modern hospital nearby, the Puttanpalli nearby, and that doctor, he was a relative of the patient. Patient name was Sharanya, and he told, I shall admit here, and nursing can be done by our nurses. You treat in Ayurvedic line. So I gave Ashtavargam Kashayam and Gauravjanadi Gudiga and Mustadi Marma Kashayam also. And with that, this is a discharge summary. And I was giving Gulgulutan Kashayam, Mustadi Marma Kashayam and Gauravjanadi and Matravasti. After 3 months treatment, she was moving her fingers. She could sit in the chair, and now she is okay. Even she is learning dance also now in this condition. So we have, the principle we followed was this neurological disorders. Gulgulutan Kashayam has got Sandhyasti Majjagatamapyata Kushtameva. Sandhyasti Majja, when the Vata is vitiated, blockage is there, stenosis is there, it can be relieved by Tichna, Ushna Dravyas and also Tikta Rasa Dravyas. That is, Gulgulutam is very much apt in that condition, purifying the sources. So Mustadi Marma also has got that effect. So she was relieved, and Matravasti, Apana Vayu Vaigunya, for that we have given, and it gave a very good result. So in one case, next case, according to principles, Gulgulutan Kashayam and Sukumaran Kashayam was given in fibroid uterus, and Hingwajadi Churnam mixed and Dashmula Ridagile. This you can see, she was having 6.6 into 4.8 centimeter fibroid seen at the fundus. So after, this was in 2020, and 17th, that was in May, this was in October 2020, bulky uterus, anterior wall of the fatty infiltration. See that fibroid was decreased to 4.4 into 2.3. Then next we did a scanning, 12th October 2021. She was taking the medicines and bulky, there is no identifying of fibroid. So she is okay now. She was having recta pradara, bleeding of uterine bleeding more, everything was stopped. She is almost normal now, no problem. She has correct periods also. So this was one of the cases we got very good relief. And this you should always remember. This is a very interesting case. I had treated Shotha with Gomutra Hedigi. Many cases I was taking 20 cases and I was studying it with Gomutra Hedigi. Shotha, this case was with cirrhosis. It came Shotha, and it says Hadidagi Manushyanam Mateva Hitakari. Haridagi is a Rasayana Dravya. It will not cause any problem and it will relieve. Like even a mother will scold, but Haridagi will not get, in Haridagi never harms. So with Gomutra is Ruksha, Tichna, and purifies the sodas. And Haridagi is Rasayana. So the Rasayana effect of Haridagi is accelerated by this Gomutra. Gomutra acts as a pilot vehicle, and through which the Haridagi's effect goes into the body parts and it relieves. So this is the cases of cirrhosis of liver with ascites also, and in that condition, we gave Gomutra 20 grams of Gomutra in the body, and patient was kept in liquid diet only. Milk was given, milk only, no food like that, milk diet only. 21 days we observed, and body weight and body mass was observed before and after. And he was having 90 kilos before, and after he relieved all the symptoms, and he was getting 60 kilos at that time. And he was going for work, no problem was there. And we found that we see the patient up to 6 months. He was normal condition also. So Gomutra has very good effect in the cases of ascites, cirrhosis, and also in the cases of Shotha or edema conditions. This is one of the I want to tell about some of the medicines which we know, but we don't know the effectiveness of that medicine, in which condition we can be given. This was a case of Vasudevan. He was having hiccup, and 47-year-old non-hypertensive, hemorrhagic stroke, hydrocephalus, who had undergone ventriculoperitoneal shunt with recurrent attacks of focal seizure. In such conditions, he was having the hiccup. That is what we wanted to treat. So while I was studying Kirathamoorthy, I found out that the dried leaves of jackfruit can be utilized as kashaya in the case of a hiccup. And I gave it I asked them to take it intermittently. And what happened after 4 days, the hiccup was cured. And I had given this for many patients. Even a professor's son in medical college, his son was having hiccup, and we gave this only. And what happened? That professor was asking, this dried jackfruit leaf in Ayurveda, how this becomes so much effective? Is there such wonderful drugs in Ayurveda? And I really appreciate Ayurveda. So though it may seem worthless, there are some ratnas, gems in the Ayurveda that we should find out. We have to go. This can be used as Grida also. Then this is one of the cases of swelling and knee joint, ankle joint, etc. I found out that she was having 110 mm per hour ESR. Vadarakta was diagnosed, and this Dhanyamla Dhara was done, and almost many of the cases, Dhanyamla Dhara gives very good relief in any conditions where kapha is more, and also when the patient is fat also, in such condition, Dhanyamla Dhara will be very good effect. And this Kashaya also, which is told in the Kirathamoorthy, Amrita and Devadaru and Bala, this Kashaya gives very good relief in the knee joint pains and also edematous conditions. So there was one case of cervical spondylosis with IVDP. He was not able to lie down at all. So since 4 days he was sitting in the chair only, and he could not. He was sent for taking MRI, but he cannot lie down. And he told surgery is the only condition we can do. Now, according to orthopedician, then what we did was we tried Ayurvedic treatment. Dasa Saptan Gulgulitan Kashayam was given, and Jambira Pindasveda, he was relieved fully, and it was a wonderful experience for him, and that is really the wonderful treatment of Ayurveda we can get. So Jambira Pindasveda can be used in any of the spinal injuries, spinal IVDP cases. We will get very good relief. Mustadi pelvic bone fracture, there was a case, accident case, where Mustadi Marmakashaya and Gulgulita was, the pelvic bone had fractured and he had gone for surgery. And after surgery, he was not relieved at all. And he could not walk at all. And in that condition, he came here. He cannot sit up at all, and we gave this medicine, and also Pirichil or Tailathara was done, Kayaseka was done, and Chiravasti was done. And after that, 14 days of Kayaseka and Mustadi Marma and Gulgulta Griza, he was relieved from the disease. And he is now driving the car and walks properly, and he was sent to the orthopedician after that, and the orthosurgeon, and he told we did not do surgery more. This is a very good condition. You can get in Ayurveda very good relief in Ayurveda. So surgery should be avoided in such conditions, he was telling. So these appendicitis cases, he was giving diagnosed as appendicitis, that ultrasound scan was done, and chronic appendicitis was identified, and he was about to go for surgery, and we gave Kaidariadika Shayam for Singhochari Churman and Septrin after 14 days, pain was relieved, and he was normal and going to school. So this surgeon who identified this appendicitis was telling what happened for that patient. Then I told he is going to school. So he was telling then my son-in-law has got appendicitis, and we were thinking of surgery. So you treat by Ayurvedic medicines, and he sent the son-in-law to me, and he was treated, and he was also cured. So surgery is the last option we can have. Whenever it is so much needed, only we should do. So studies in astrology also is there. This is a study that assessment tool based on Ayurvedic concepts of Sattva-Bala, according to Ayurveda and astrology was done. They were coinciding. We have to see some of the techniques also in astrology if we are in favor for that. I don't support it. This was a study that in PG thesis. And Ayurveda, we have already told it. This is some of the Dushtaprana with the Jatyadi coconut oil, Gulgultan Kashayam and Punarnavadi Kashayam, Kaishore Gul and Jatyadi coconut oil was applied, Jatyadi Girdam was tied, and Triphaladi Kashaya Thara was done. He was having 8 years this ulceration, and he got relief by Ayurvedic medicines. So this is one of the dried experience of Jirna Jara, dried bamboo kashayam. bamboo sticks can be made into kashayam and given in the Jirnadvara, that is according to Vaidya Muril Nambishan. This was an experience I have got. There was this Nambishan, that Muril Nambishan Vaidya, when a patient came, his son-in-law, his relative was there, and he found out that this Nambishan was telling the patient, you collect the twigs, bamboo twigs, which are used for fencing, and after 1 year you will be removing it. You take it at kashaya and take in this Jirnadvara avastha. So the patient was not getting belief in it, though he did it, and after 21 days of treatment, he was relieved from the Jirnadvara. Then this scientist, the son-in-law was a scientist in Ayurveda Shala, he took this and ticks and identified what has happened in it. When the bamboo ticks are standing as fencing for 1 year, there some change in the color occurs. That is, some of the weeds or something will be staying in that fence, and it is like a Streptococcus family, and streptomycin effect comes in the biological streptomycin effect comes in the, that is why the Jirnadvara was effective, he was telling. So how an Ayurvedic physician from a village has the wisdom of getting this knowledge of even the small bamboo ticks, which has been there as fencing, can be utilized as medicines. So this is when you think about how this knowledge was created by observation, that is really fantastic. We should appreciate it. Okay, this Indralukta case, and a physician from the village told me teak oil is very much used for Indralukta in such conditions, and it was very good. It gave very good relief in such conditions. Teak oil can be put in the, and Darunaga also it is relieving. This Keshapada can be in Indralukta can be relieved by this. This is one of the trigeminal neuralgia cases. We treated with Churna Bindasweda, etc. It was not giving relief. Then we found out that Brahmana should be done in that condition, and Vidaryadi Kashayam, the Chidabala Taila was given, and Shashtika Shali Bindasweda Brahmana can be given. So what happened on Nistya with the Chidabala Taila, but not one also, and he was cured, fully cured from the, he was having it 1 year, but fully cured by this, and he was a artist also. He gave me this Sri Krishna's picture also, which he has drawn. So even in Parkinson's disorder, we have to give whether it is Brahmanotha or Lankhanotha, Vadiga, Nirama, Dhanandaram, Vidaryadi Kashayam can be given, Kavigachu, etc. When Vadiga Amayukta, Amrotaram and Gaurotanadi gives relief. We have seen it. Prayoga Shamayad Vyadhim Yonya Vanya Udire Naso Vishuddha Shuddhastu Shamayad Yona Kobayad. Shamayad Vyadhim, it should relieve the disease. When one medicine give results in another disease, the medicine is not pure. So impure medicines should not be used. Pure medicine should be used for Ayurveda. So we have Karunardham, Manasuddham, Sarvatvara. All diseases can be cured if you have peaceful mind. Thank you. If you have any queries, you can ask. Thank you for a nice hearing, nice occasion. Thank you very much.
First of all, thank you so much, sir. It was a very wonderful session. Actually, something that we least ask when we are at the clinic, like the psychological part, that is something that we never look into. But after your class, I hope all our participants will surely first ask about the psychological effect. Thank you so much, sir. Now we have the discussion time. It's an open discussion. So if you have any queries, you can just raise your hand so that I can help you unmute and speak. Sir, for the fibroid condition,
Yeah,
which all medicines did you give, sir?
please, I don't hear properly.
Sir, for the fibroid condition that you had told, which all medicines did you prescribe?
Yeah, yeah. This is the medicines we utilized for fibroid condition. Gulgulitham kashayam and Sugumaram kashayam. Gulgulitham kashayam is used in the Granthi, etc., where Medas is too much and Granthis, this gives result. And Sugumaram kashayam, it relieves the Apana Vayu Vaigunya, and it is very much used in the cases of uterine bleeding, etc. So both were mixed and given for the medicines. And Hinguachadi also, Hinguacha, Vijaya, Pashuganta, Adadima, that is for Apana Vaigunya. So according to the Apana Anulomana, all these medicines were plus this kapha or the granthi, the medas should be decreased. For that, Gulguritan Kashayam was given, and Dashamula Haridagi is good for Apana Vaigunya.
Okay, sir. So, if means, can we prescribe any kind of vasti or any kind of shodhana treatment for this?
No, I did not do any shodhana for this purpose because she was not, she was reluctant to get admitted in the hospital. So it was OP treatment only we adopted. It is good that we can do vasti, etc. But the patient was not, she was reluctant to get admitted. That's why I could not do it.
Okay, okay, thank you. Sir, we have one participant. Yes, Dr. Himaya.
Hello, sir. Thank you for the very nice session, sir. I wanted to ask, sir, in appendicitis patient, like you have used Khadira, the Kashayana. So, like, I didn't get it well, like, for how it works.
Which one? I did not
Khadira
hear.
Kashayana in appendix patients.
Appendicitis?
Yeah, yeah, sir.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Appendicitis. We gave Kaidaria the Kashaya. Kaidaria means that Kaidaria, Kalashaka. Kalashaka is Kaidaria. That is what do you say? Karivepila in Malayalam.
Curry leaves.
Curry leaves. Curry leaves are Kaidaria. So there is a yoga Kaidaryadi Kashaya plus Hinguajadi Churna Vasti. I have given in many cases of appendicitis this medicine and we got very good relief. Even in the cases of gallbladder stones, this symptomatically it gets very good relief. So septylin tablet also was given because Kaidaryadi Kashaya, it is Deepana and also Samana Vayu Vaigunya will be relieved by Kaidarya. So this was given according to that only.
Sir, and what is the dose like?
That is 60 ml. Kaidaryadi Kashaya 60 ml twice daily with Hinguajadi Churnam half teaspoon.
Okay. So it is quite a big dose, huh, sir.
Yeah,
60
it's not a big dose. We used to give 60 ml only, generally.
Okay, sir.
This is not not the kwatha which is prepared. We have to mix it with 15 ml per 45 ml warm water. That is what the prepared kashayam is.
Okay, sir. Thank you. And sir,
Not 60 ml concentrated.
okay, sir.
Concentrated 15 ml plus 45 ml water, warm water.
Okay, sir. And sir, the teak oil you have told in this Indralupta patient, sir,
Yeah.
that can be used in alopecia also.
Yeah. Teak oil is, I have seen that one patient having no hair at all in the head due to Indralupta. I have given teak oil and I was wondering how this gave such a result. He was fully with hair. Indralupta condition. Not Khalitya. In Indralupta, it gives very good relief. Even what do you say, Dantapala, what is it called?
Inospora cordifolia.
Yeah, that, no, Dantapala. Inospora is Amrita.
Britannia somnifera. Sorry.
Ringtori or something. That also is effective. But teak oil is the best medicine in Indralupta. Even we have done Hasti Danta Mashi also. We had used, but teak oil is the best medicine I have seen in my practice for Indralupta.
So it's Devdaru oil, sir, no, sir. Teak oil is Devdaru.
Yeah?
It's Devdaru oil, no? Devdaru.
No, not Devadaru. Teak, teak wood. Teak wood or teak wood, there is a resin. That is called as teak oil. It can be teak woods, small pieces can be put in the coconut oil or something, and that can be used also. Otherwise, Urdhva can be done. Athapadana can be done also, and the leaves of the tender leaves of the teak can be taken, and in coconut oil it can be prepared. That also gives the same result.
So we have to prepare it. It is not available in market.
No, it is available in Kerala. Some of the medicinal shops, teak oil is available. But I don't know whether it will be available in your area.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Kimaya. Now, next we have Dr. Ujjwala.
Hello, sir.
Sir.
Sir, good evening. Sir, if the patient with Pratishaya, it's been a 13 years old boy, not getting result with Rajanyadi Churna or any like Saptamrut Loho. I have tried so many. So I thought it's pure Vata and it need Bruhana treatment. So what we can give, sir, that condition Pratishaya?
First, you have to clear that whether the Pradishyaya is Vadika or not.
Yes, sir,
Vadika,
Vatik only, because that patient also not, I have not find any like Ama Prakopjanya Ahar, like he's doing exercise also. Only that boy is very thin. So I thought it's all Vata Prakopjanya.
normally, Pradishyaya has got Ama and Kapha Anvaya. Ama and Kapha, though it may be Vadika, there should be relation with Kapha and Ama. In such conditions, the allergic factors are very much predominant. So
Yes, sir.
We have to find out what are the allergic things for the patient. So we can identify the allergic condition. Generally, cold water, ice cream, chocolate, and also powder, perfumes, all these things will result in Pradishyaya. So we have to, and in Ayurvedic Samhitas also, the allergic factors are very much described even in Shwasa Roga and Kasavritya Bhavet Shwasa, Urvairva Doshako, Amadisara Vamatu Vishapandu Jwareirabi, Dejo Dhuma Anila Khade, Dejo Dhuma Anila Khade. These things are allergic to the patient, and allergic test can be done and find out what are the things. And for relieving this, we have to change the lifestyle. He should not take all these things. He should switch on to water. Even drinking should be warm water from the flask. We have to keep warm water, and every time when he takes, I had a patient from Dubai. He was using always this AC, and he was getting pradishaya. And I asked him, though you cannot avoid the AC, you drink hot water, warm water, always. You keep it in the flask and take it. And he was telling me after when he was, after coming here, he was telling, when I take this hot water, I don't get the pradishaya. So we have to find out what is the causative factor behind it. Sometimes the people will be, children, etc., they will be taking chocolates, then they will be taking water from the fridge, etc. So we have to see that and find out it can be relieved. If you are sure that it is Vadiga, you can utilize not Kridas. If pure Vadiga, then you can use Varanadi. Varanadi Girda is that we have normally there will be Kapha and Amanya.
Okay, sir. Because that boy has, if he morning only he gets, and whenever he take head bath only, sir.
Yeah.
Otherwise, full day no head, no pratisha. Only morning time. Kafakala he gets.
Yeah, and Asnadi Churna can be applied in the head.
Sir, one more question, sir. Sir, how we can treat hypertension? Because that when we take the history, that patient having most of the patient having vidagda ahar and improper lifestyle, and rasadushti mainly in that patient, and raktadushti also we find. So what medicines we can give that patient?
Without changing lifestyle, we cannot get a full relief. There are medicines very much utilized in the cases of hypertension, but it will be effective only when you control the other problems. Because hypertension is not a single disorder, does not come from, it comes from another many problems. So we have to find out the other main problems which create the hypertension. So it changes in different individuals, different conditions. So you find out what causes it, and accordingly we have to treat. The Ayurveda has got many good medicines for that. That is HT quarter. In hypertension, without any problems, you can give, and it gives very good. It calms the mind also.
Sir, which?
HT court, hypertension, that HT court, KOT.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir.
One BD you can use, or otherwise you can use accordingly what you think.
Sir, you have told about bamboo stick. Sir, how it works, sir? I didn't get that.
There is a yeah, bamboo sticks are used for fencing in Kerala. So it will stand for 1 year. So the Vaidya asked the patient to take that fencing, that bamboo sticks, and make kashaya and take. Then this man tried that. Then he found out that there is a fungus on the bamboo sticks. When it stands for 1 year, and that fungus is Streptococcus group, and that is why streptomycin group in this fungus is, that is what gives effect in this condition. According to a scientist, he was telling to me. So how we find out such medicines which are away from our text? Even a village physician has the knowledge of these things. Even twigs can be used as medicine. The bamboo twigs, which stands for 1 year, is used as medicines. That's why the anaushakam kinchinna vidyate. There is nothing which are not at all medicine. Everything is medicine. You should know what is the utility of it.
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Jala. Yes, sir.
Shall we wind up?
Yes, sir, one more, just one more participant. Yes, Dr. Manoj, please.
Namaskar, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yeah,
Hello.
you are audible. Tell.
Sir, how far we can treat, sir, Parkinsonism? Means I am not getting much results in that, sir.
Yeah.
So what is, sir, your experience?
Yeah. That's what I am telling. Parkinson's, we have to treat it pratyakhyana chikitsa. Many of the cases we will not get a result. But when we identify the clear pathway, how it occurs, we can somehow control it. Not cure, we can control it. So like that, the Kapikachu Churna, in many cases, it gives very good relief. Even Parkinson, there is a tablet. If you don't get to Kapikachu Churna, it gives relief. That is Syndopa. Instead of Syndopa, we can use this as medicine. But we have to identify which condition of Parkinson's it is. Whether it is, some of them, movement is too much and Vadiga type. And in such conditions, this will give, as Kapikachu is Brahmana, it will give result. When there is a condition where Kapha and Ama are there, we have to give, we will not get result by this Kapikachu Churna, etc. In such conditions, you have to purify the srodasas and clear the srodasas, and finally we have to do Brahmana. So first purification should be done, and such rasayana dravyas can be utilized so that it gives result.
I hope it is clear for Dr. Manoj. Thank you so much, sir, for answering all the questions patiently. So we'll wind up the session here. So once again, thank you so much for giving us such a wonderful presentation. Now I invite Dr. Jasul to please go for the concluding session.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for this session, and this topic only can done by a senior physician. Okay, from the and you are the one of the best choice we can do with this topic, and you did more than our expectations. Thank you so much. And I invite Dr. P. Ramatullah sir for a few words. Sir here. Yes, Dr. Ramatullah sir is here.
Yeah.
He is the chief physician of Kottakkal Ayurveda and Modern Hospital.
Hello.
Yes, doctor. Yes, doctor.
Good evening, everybody.
Namaskaram.
Namaskaram. Very happy.
Yes. I think if the connection got deleted, we we can wait for. Sir is one of our core faculty in Ayurveda MAP, Kirathamoorthy sir, and we are planning so many courses with Dr. Kirathamoorthy sir, and I hope Dr. Rahmatullah can join soon so that we can have a chat with him.
Actually, the session was very wonderful, sir.
This one I shall show you. This is one of the book which you
Okay.
should go through.
Ayurveda Legacy of Kerala.
Yeah, very good medicines are prescribed in this, and it was taken from a manuscript, and they have published it.
Okay, sir. So that book actually contains formulations, right?
Special formulations, some of the single drugs, everything. That was taken from a manuscript from some house. I don't know, but from where it was taken.
Okay.
And it comes for many of the diseases can be successfully treated by these medicines prescribed in this. Simple medicines. So it will be effective for our new generation. They can utilize it. Okay.
Okay. Sir, where is it available or any?
This from the Directorate of Ayurveda Medical Education.
Okay.
Yeah. DAME. DAME. From there it can be available.
Okay. Actually, our new generation doctors doesn't have a great idea about the single drug preparations. That
And
has
not only single drug preparation, they have no idea about practicing Ayurveda. They go for PG studies, etc. And from my experience, I met a student. She called me and told me, though I have studied Ayurveda, I don't get confidence in practicing. So will you take classes for me, online class enough? You take some classes for me so that I can practice. Then I took 15 days class about general practice, the medicines involved, and also the everything. And after 15 days class, she got confidence and she told, I want to take one agency of any of the medicinal firm. Then I sent somebody and she started Parappanboy, that is near Calicut. She started a clinic and she is practicing very nicely. And I had gone there also. Okay.
Yes.
So shall we leave?
Yes.
Dr. Rahmatullah will be joining soon, so we are waiting for him. Just a minute, sir.
Sir, one of our participant would like to talk to you. Can I connect, sir?
Yeah.
Dr. Jitesh, please, you can continue. Hello, Doctor.
Am I audible?
Yes, yes, you're audible, please.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the wonderful session. I had a doubt regarding Vakshagata case which I had seen recently with the history of hypertension and diabetes. And when I went through the nadis, the vata was very predominant as usual. And some in the initial stages, I saw pitta was in a bit moderate. And recently, like yesterday, I saw pitta was a bit higher. And I asked the patient that was he facing any problem related to his digestion or anything. So he was telling it was constipated and all. And how will be your treatment when it goes through the Pakshagata, which is of Vata predominant and with Pitta, as he has Raktachapa with hypertension? What is your experience in regard to this?
Yeah. When it says the pathogenesis according to Pakshagata in Ayurveda says गृहीत्वार्थं तनोर्वायु शिरास्नायुर्विशोष्य च पक्षमन्यतरं हन्ति सन्धिबन्धान् विमोक्षयन् कृष्णोर्धगायस्तस्य स्यात् अकर्मण्यो विचेतन एकाङ्गरोगं तं केचित् अन्ये पक्षवधं विदु. This is it. So in such conditions, the treatment advocated is Swedanam Sneha Samyuktam Pakshaghate Virechana. Pakshaghata gets relief by Virechana. When it is constipated, you cannot get result. So that is why Swedanam Sneha Samyuktam Pakshaghate Virechana. Why Virechana is told for Pakshaghata rather than Vasti, he gives stress on Virechana because there is an involvement of Pitta in Pakshaghata. When Rakta is the Dushya which is involved. So certainly there is an involvement of Pitta, and Vada Pitta Anulomana in such condition should be done by Virechana. Even Virechana gives Vada Anulomana. That is why Vadasya Obakrama Sneha Sweda Samshodhanam Mrudu. Samshodhanam Mrudu means it is Mrudu Virechana, it is. So Mrudu Virechana, not Titra Virechana. Mrudu Virechana is the treatment modality you have to advocate in Vata Pitta Janya Pakshaghata. Swen Snehana Swedana can be done. So you can use Mridu Virechana or laxatives. Every day you can give, and Anudomana should be done. That is Apanavayu Vaigunya should be relieved, and it is the best thing. And medicines as a part, you can give Vata Pitta Hara medicines. Bidaryadi Kashaya is a very good choice for that. You can have Pajanamritam, which is even Ama, every conditions you can utilize Pajanamritam Kashayam, and it is Vata Pittahara. Pajanamritam, Shida Dribyas are there. So even Jara, there are some Vata Pittagna Kashaya, some of them you can take. Even Guduchadi is Patmagadi, Guruji Patmagarishta Dhanagarak Pitta Shleshma Jaraschakti Daha Krishnabdam Agnigra. That can be utilized. So many, even Panchadikta also, it relieves Pitta also. So many drugs are there, many Kashaya yogas are which are there, you can utilize.
Dr. Jitesh?
Hello. Yes.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hearing?
Yes, doctor. Yes, doctor.
Hello. Good evening. Sir,
Good evening, sir. Good evening.
very
We are
thanks
waiting for you.
for your presence.
Okay.
Some mistake, the link mistake, I don't know.
Okay.
You can hear?
Yes, Doctor Rahmatullah. Yeah, you can start. You can
Thank
continue.
you, doctor, for your enlightening speech. From starting from what is the duty of doctors to then eminent doctors experience with your experience. This is very important. Is the practical and theoretical knowledge of the doctors is very important these days. This is your class is very important. Is also I believe the doctors of the starting doctors also very interested class. This is on. Thank you, doctor. Thank you, Jasul. Also, this Anubhava session is continuing is very good performance. And thank everybody. Good night.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Rahmatullah, for sponsoring all these programs, and you are so supporting us for this. And thank you, Dr. Kirathamoorthy sir, also for this wonderful session. Over to you, Dr. Radhika.
Okay, so we'll wind up the session. So once again, thank you, sir, for this wonderful session. And thank you, Dr. P. Ali Kuti's pharmacy and Ayurveda map for sponsoring this. So good night to one and all. We'll see in another session. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you,
Yes.
Jasu.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Right.
Thanks. Good night.